Thanks for joining us. This is Andrew Beinbrink, the CEO of SportsForce. We're going to be going over the college baseball game plan and really talking about how Australian families can accomplish that goal of looking to play baseball at the college level. And our kind of in the trenches experience that we've had working with some Australian families that are now playing college baseball in the United States. So first, a couple of key topics that we're going to talk about. How the college baseball recruiting process works, the NCAA, NAIA, and NJCAA facts and figures. So those are the different levels of college baseball. What the college recruiting timeline looks like, and common mistakes families make that you can avoid. We're going to cover a lot of material. We're going to move fast, so buckle up and let's get going. So first, this is a quick bio of myself. Started this company 9 years ago after playing college baseball at Arizona State, and then went on and played professional baseball for 6 seasons with the Tampa Bay Rays and Texas Rangers organizations, and really got into helping families through this based on a passion that I had, realizing how big of a decision college is and how much it can impact, the lives of young men. And I've assisted, a few hundred families through this process to find, the best colleges at all different levels, from NCAA Division I, to junior college level. And really put together a team of other former, college and pro players, scouts and coaches that share that same passion. We got over 50 years of combined, scouting and coaching experience at the college or pro level, and we've helped over 500 families, get successfully, assisted to go on and play at the college level. So a lot of experience, and we've seen so many different stories, and I'm going to share some stories with you tonight to help, teach you how this process works. So let me explain how I kind of got into, working with some Australian families. Trent Oeltjen, a friend of mine, his wife works for our organization as well, helping soccer families. Anyway, Trent and I got into some long conversations talking about, the challenges that Australian families have. And obviously Trent has the background, played for the Olympic team, played 15 years professionally, played at the major league level. He almost went the college route, but ended up signing professionally, out of high school, and he just saw a lot of challenges, with Australian players signing professionally, right after high school, and then, literally playing maybe a few years and then being done with their careers and missing out on, the opportunity to go play, college ball in the United States, or at least have that option, and what that could mean, for more, Aussie players. So just moving along here, Trent introduced us to the McCallum family. James was the first Australian player that we'd worked with, from Sydney. Graduated obviously December 2015, a little bit different than here in the U.S. And outfield first baseman, went through the ranks, played on the Australian national team, and really the family, Tim and James, and wanted to play college baseball, didn't know how to get recruited or have a college game plan in place, and were really just very naive, to how the process worked. And this is pretty common. Here's some of the top, family challenges that we see: a tremendous lack of experience or, education on this. Just making mistakes that are costly. What colleges to target. Having connections with college coaches. It's thousands of miles away. From here in the U.S. I'm in California right now. Our staff is spread out all over the country, from California to Texas to Florida to New York and New Jersey, and really those connections and relationships, and where their son fit in this process. Also the time to do everything, not knowing what to do and then not having necessarily, the time to do it as well. Like, everybody's busy. James was busy trying to do the best that he could with his schoolwork, trying to do the best that he could on the baseball field as well. And then finally, just how to choose the right college. So just not having a college game plan in place, I think, is the biggest challenge. So what does college baseball look like? Obviously, you might have seen some of the College World Series on television now. So you might have a little bit of an idea. It's an awesome experience, very competitive. We'll talk a little bit about what those numbers look like. And then, the impression of what college looks like. I mean, this is a campus at Boston College, and not every U.S. college looks like this by any means, but there are some amazing college campuses that are out there. And then, the excitement of being part of a team, continuing to play at the next level, and moving on and having that, excitement to be able to make maybe a playoff run. Every level of college baseball here has like a postseason and playoff opportunities. So, it's I had that experience myself, going to the College World Series my junior year, playing for a national championship. And then I had to educate the McCallum family on, what does the United States look like? Where are these colleges located? And what's the climates like in different areas of the country? I'm in San Diego, California. It's a lot different than, Dallas, Texas. A lot different than, Florida or Iowa. So you get the idea. I mean, the United States, it's a big country with very diverse climates. So just educating a family on what's out there and where are the colleges located. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So the college versus pro, also educating, families on that. Realistically, the chances of playing at the major league level, 750 major league players. You look here on the right, of that, the amateurs, just over 550,000 amateurs at the high school and the collegiate level all over the world. And 4 of them will reach Major League Baseball free agency, which is where you really have an opportunity to make a strong amount of income. So this just gives you an idea of how competitive, starting at Little League to high school to college. So educating families that college is a tremendous route, and it still leaves the professional baseball opportunity wide open, and often becomes a route where you can get a better recruiting position, get drafted higher, or a bigger signing bonus, going the college route. So before we dive into more stuff, I want to highlight why is it so powerful to get recruited, to go play college baseball. Number one is the admissions process. Being a recruited student athlete, you have a 3 to 4 times advantage getting into better schools. And this is even if you're coming up through the junior college ranks, as opposed to, just going right into a 4-year school. So the 2-year schools are the junior colleges. Second, third, and fourth are just figuring out, all financially related, how to get the best athletic, academic, and financial aid package possible. When you're getting recruited, you're going to get, better options for better financial packages to save your family money. And then fifth is just the support that can be offered at the college level for student athletes with academic tutoring, and registration and academic counselors that are available. So I wanted to highlight, the 4 main hurdles that families have to overcome. Number one is the cost of college. I mean, I think the Australian families that we've worked with and educated, they get blown away by, what it costs to go to college in the United States. I know high school is more expensive in Australia, and then college is much less expensive. and we'll touch on that. 2, the competition. 3, how to navigate this process. 4, some of the common mistakes that are made. So diving right in here, the cost of college. We're talking about strictly 4-year schools right now. So just to give you an idea, kind of the public costs versus the private costs. Now, just because it's more expensive, the sticker price doesn't mean that's what is going to be the best value in terms of the net cost of college. So just to give you an idea, and the costs continue to rise. Next, what does college baseball look like in terms of the different levels? So many of you have heard of probably the NCAA, because that's what almost everybody knows. But they offer different levels: NCAA Division I, Division II, Division III, and then you have NAIA, which is also 4-year schools, and then you have the Junior College Athletic Association. And really, you got a lot of options that are out there. All right, now let's talk about the competition. So this is 4-year college programs, and if you look on the left-hand side, you got Division I, Division II, Division III, and NAIA. In the middle, you got the number of teams and the number of players. And then on the right, you have the amount of scholarships. So Division I, 11.7 scholarships for the entire team. So there's a lot of partial scholarships that are being provided. Division II, 9. Division III, they don't offer athletic scholarships, but they can be quite creative with academic and financial need-based aid. And then 12 scholarships at the NAIA, and these are if they're fully funded programs. So let's look at the competition below here. So total college roster spots, just over 54,000. Total high school participation, almost 500,000 high school participation. And then the odds of playing, just over 11% of securing a roster spot, to play in college. And to play Division I, just over 2%. So there's very stiff competition, obviously. And that's not to discourage you, it's to let you know, here's the reality of the process. All right, let's move on now to 2-year colleges and what the competition looks like here. So you got the National Junior College Association, you got Division I, Division II, Division III, and then NJCAA programs, which is still junior colleges. Like California has its own association. So look at the number of teams in the middle and the number of players to the right of it. So just about 20,000 total players playing, junior college baseball. And then the athletic scholarships that are offered, up to 24 per team if it's a Division I program. So it gives you a good idea of what's out there. All right, moving along. The recruiting timeline. This is a big one because this explains the first column there is the different levels. The second column is when college coaches start scouting players. And then when really strong recruiting interest and recruiting trips start to happen. And then when typical scholarship offers are made. So Division I, the scouting can start as early as grade 8, here in the United States. So that just lets you know. And then moving along to Division II, it can start as early as the 10th grade or grade 10. Division III, same thing. And then the scholarship offers for Division I, sometimes scholarship offers are being made, and this always blows people's minds. But some scholarship offers have been made to grade, 8th graders or grade 8. I mean, we're talking 14, 15-year-olds. It's very rare that early, but the freshman year and the sophomore year, or grade 9 and grade 10, have become a lot more common for top Division I programs to make scholarship offers. We've had a number of players, have made a decision on, where they're going to college, verbal, commitment to where they're going to college, at 15, 16 years old sometimes. So that gives you an idea. I just wanted to share this to kind of let you know. Now, every school here, as you see, they still they can recruit all the way through grade 12. So even though they might start earlier, they're still recruiting sometimes late. It's just there's less opportunity the later this process goes. All right, moving along. Third is just navigating this process. We like to use the analogy of this is like climbing a mountain. And it's the college recruiting mountain, and there's hundreds of thousands of other players that would love to go on and go play college baseball. So it's critical. On the right-hand side, these are the different stages, of the potential climb of the mountain. And we just want to make sure families are not making any mistakes, they're not wasting any time or money along the way, and they're moving up these different stages as effectively as possible. So I don't want to go into too much detail, but obviously the top of the mountain, is signing with the college. It's going to be the best all-around fit. And the goal is building relationships and generating as much interest from as many schools at the same time as possible. So you have choices, the best possible choices before signing. These are some common mistakes that we see, and it's no formal game plan, too unrealistic or narrow of a college target list, or not knowing what schools to really include on the target list. Relying on viewing tournaments or club teams. This is more of a kind of a U.S. mistake that happens. But also, you might play on some team that's traveling to the United States, and if they don't have it dialed in with what colleges are going to be there and really a clear opportunity for exposure, you might be wasting your time and money with that trip. And then fourth is a big one, just starting too late in this process. Here's a big thing. The college coaches want to be able to see how a player develops over time as much as they possibly can. So being in that recruiting window for as early as you can and as long as you can, it helps a coach build confidence in the type of skills that your son has, and how they're developing and how they can project them as a player. All right, moving along, getting back to James, and we'll kind of share a little bit of the process that we took him through and his family through, just educating them. So he ended up, getting multiple scholarship offers. He ended up accepting a full scholarship to Broward Junior College in Florida. Another family, George Callil, his process was a little bit different. Different position. He was from Melbourne, and the recruiting game plan included these main elements here. Obviously providing the one-on-one guidance, being able to evaluate his skill level, using video to help us, and talking with some coaches from his team and from his area, helping create the right type of target list, and then the video editing. The engagement with the college coaches and being able to, share, our evaluation and recommendation, and then just helping the family understand how to negotiate, the best potential scholarship packages possible. He ended up getting multiple college scholarship offers, accepting a scholarship to, last year was the number 2 rated, junior college in the country, McCallum Junior College in Texas, which is a great program, great coaching staff as well. All right, moving along. So quick summary on how we help. It's really making sure that there's a clear college recruiting game plan that includes the academic, athletic, financial, and recruiting goals, and then providing one-on-one, mentorship with a dedicated college baseball advisor, working with the family. I'll explain more about some of the bottom bullet points here, but making sure every player has a profile. And the reason this is powerful, whether you do this on your own or you choose to get help, is making it really simple for college coaches to get access to everything that they need in terms of that resume with one simple click. So this is an example of an online resume that we set up for George. It included multiple videos, and it helps us, and it helps the college coaches, and it helps the family, like the Callils, to be able to organize everything. And as part of this, it also helped us evaluate where he was at, how his progress was coming along, and just just a powerful tool to have this state-of-the-art website. And the coaches can click on different sections of the profile to get to statistics or academic information, just everything that they want, and it's to make it simple for them. And then what we did, with George is, we started building out that target list, and obviously we could, focus on schools anywhere in the country. We wanted to focus on schools that were going to be junior college programs that had the ability to offer scholarships from an athletic standpoint to help the family, save money and be able to afford sending him to the United States to play college baseball. And this just gives you a map of the U.S. with a bunch of different college logos, but it's about helping you start, build, and maintain relationships with college coaches, and be able to get, conversations and a dialogue going, with them, and educating them on how you're developing and your skill level, on the field and in the classroom as well. All right, so moving along. So what we did is literally we helped create this target list of schools. We have a database of every school in the country, broken down by division, by location, tuition, just also the academic rating as well. We can even search by majors. And then as you look over here, you're going to see what we do is every time we send out a marketing campaign and letter to college coaches, we're tracking which coaches are viewing and opening the emails and viewing the profile. This is huge to be able to understand what's happening, behind the scenes. And that's part of our process. And we're helping craft, what should be said, to coaches, whether it's an introductory letter or it's a follow-up, with some new video, or there's an academic update to provide them. We're helping craft exactly what to be sent, and we're sending it out of our system from George's email address, so the student athlete's email address, to the college coaches. And that way we can track them, but also the coaches can respond directly to George or the student athlete, and it shows the college coaches that this player is interested in my school, which is a huge deal. The other aspects that what we did with George and his family is put together a scouting report, as well as a recommendation letter that we sent to specific college coaches. We also evaluated what schools that were interested in him and where they were, what their needs were. Were they looking for a shortstop? Were they looking for pitching? Where were they at? And engaging with the college coaches, to help, George and James and some other players that we've worked with really find where the best fit is going to be. And then being able to provide an ongoing assessment of, do we need to make any adjustments? Do we need to remove schools from the target list? Do we need to add some schools? It's always a fluid process. So just being able to assess, what adjustments need to be made. And as part of this as well, making sure that George was ready for the conversations with the college coaches, over Skype, and what questions to ask the coaches, what questions to expect from, the coaches as well. And really just coaching them up on being prepared for those opportunities and those conversations, because it's already challenge enough to get recruited, when you're not, in the area near college coaches. But these coaches are interviewing, your son or you as a player, just like, they would be, recruiting anybody else. And they need to know that you're going to be a good fit from your character, from your personality. And just like it's important that, as a player and as a family, you're also interviewing them. And this is probably the first formal interviewing process that many young men go through, is actually this recruiting process. All right, so the next is, the ways that we just want to provide and deliver value. We want to help remove stress. So the Callil, the McCallum family, they had a lot of anxiety that they were dealing with. So remove the stress, save time and money during the process. Hate seeing families waste money or time in this process. And then really maximizing, the recruiting opportunities. And then saving money with the financial package as well for college. And then ultimately choosing the best all-around fit, realizing how big of a decision this is. And this whole process, started when we went and got introduced to James, we got introduced to George. It started with understanding their evaluation, what their academic status was, where they were from an athletic skills and baseball potential standpoint, explaining to the family where they were on the recruiting timeline, asking the family, and understanding their college goals academically, athletically, financially. It's all part of that, and then of course, obviously, the finances for college. Explaining what the potential costs are going to be outside of just the college and tuition and room and board, but also the travel, the health insurance. There's some other costs that go into this that families need to get educated on and be prepared for. So everything starts with an evaluation. We do not work with any families or student athletes unless we're confident that we can we have the ability to be able to help them get recruited and find a good home to continue being a student athlete and go play college. Evaluation is the first step in this process. On this page here, you're going to see a button to be able to click and fill out an evaluation form. It really helps us get an idea of where you're at academically, where you're at from a baseball standpoint. If you can provide a link to a video, that's huge. It helps us. And that's where it all starts, is getting an evaluation. And I'm glad we had a chance to bring this to you, because I know Trent was adamant, and Ryan as well were adamant about, let's bring more education to the families in Australia and be able to show exactly how this process does work. So regarding next steps, please take advantage of a lot of the resources and education that we've provided. We will be relying on evaluation information from Trent and Ryan. I know that they're doing some camps and showcases and scouting combines in Australia this fall, or your winter right now, and we look forward to being able to learn more about some potential prospects that want to go play college baseball in the U.S. We realize how competitive it is, and we realize how big of a decision it is which college to choose, and to take this venture, this exciting venture to the United States, to continue playing the game that your son or that you love, if you're a ball player listening to this tonight. So I want to wrap it up. Again, my name is Andrew Beinbrink. You can email us at workshops at SportsForce online. Our website is www.sportsforceonline. And thanks for joining us.